Wow. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good. Wow. You guys alive today? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for having me here this morning. It's always a pleasure to come to the Temple of the Living God. And I feel like over the last 6 months, this has been my home, because every Thursday night I was here teaching a class. And so it was just much of a joy. I'll tell you more about that as I'm speaking. But what I'd like to do is for us just to start off doing a quick exercise, because being at one with God, we have to take ourselves to that experience. So I'd like everybody to stand up. And I'd like you to put your feet, I've done this exercise here before, but I'd like you to stand your feet just slightly bent. And they're going to be shoulder length apart. And you want to stand up, but just relax. What I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and let it all out through your mouth. One more. Deep breath in and let it all out. I want you to take your hands, I want you to put them up like this. And I want you to bring them down like this, down your chakras. Just slowly, deep. Do it one more time, but as you bring up, deep breath in. Bring it down, breathe out. One more. Deep breath in. Let it all out. Everybody feel that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to do that one more time, but just not now. Everybody have a seat, and I'll tell you why in a second. So that was just to get us in that space, because what we're going to be talking about is, yes, becoming at one with God. And what God is to me is goodness over doubt. It is the goodness in you that overcomes the doubt in you. It's the one that looks at that false evidence appearing real and says, hold on a second, are you real? Is this fear? Is this what's holding me back real? Because if it's not, then it is not of my highest and best good. Then it could be serving me, because could be a catalyst to wake me up. Everybody with me on that one?
Yes.
Okay. So the interesting part, most of you guys know that I have a background in corporate training and I have a master's degree in education, and I've been at the same time, very interestingly enough, I started in my spiritual life in 1996, well, this metaphysical part of my spiritual life, and I also started corporate training in 1996. So for some reason, the universe decided I was going to do both at the same time. Why is that super interesting? Here's why. So everybody's heard the term divine timing and divine order. Everybody heard that one? Everybody says that we have to have faith, right? Okay. So here's the interesting part about your brain and the brain chemistry. So when you start a new habit, there is neural pathways that fire in your brain. We all know that, am I correct? But the interesting thing, part about that is most people don't fully understand this when it comes to our spirituality. Every time you start something new in your life, it becomes a new skill that you are starting to develop, whether it be exercising, whether it be reading spiritual texts and actually practicing it in your life. It doesn't matter what it is. Every time you start a new skill, a new neural pathway starts forming in your brain. The coolest thing about your body is that it's electrical. It's a bioelectrical machine. That's what Spirit loves to tell me all the time. It is a bioelectrical machine. So, interesting enough, and how that works is that as you start to go throughout life, eventually what ends up happening is that neural pathway goes from one side of the brain and connects to the other side of the brain, and guess what ends up happening? You stop having faith and you start knowing. You start knowing. So your body, your energy body, your physical body was perfectly made. So the ideas out there when we're told that we're sinners is incorrect, because sin means what? Missing the mark. It means you're out of balance. That is a good thing. Here's the other part about how your body works. It is hardwired that when you start going down an incorrect path or out of balance, or you're starting to, not be in where you're supposed to be, it starts giving you this thing called anxiety. Everybody know what that means? Everybody felt that before in your life? That is a good thing, Because how your body learns, and interesting how the chemistry of your brain and body works, is you start down a path, you start learning something new, and when it starts not working, your body starts feeling tense and it starts feeling a little bit like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. And that's, everybody remember when we learned how to drive? Yeah. Put your hand on the wheel, right here and right here, make sure your mirror is here, and you're like, and you got mirrors over here, and your mom or your dad is sitting in the passenger seat freaking out. And they're grabbing onto their seatbelt and onto this thing up here. We won't say the words. And so then they're sitting there going, and then me at 14 years old, I bottomed out my mother's Ford Escort because she decided to teach a 14-year-old how to drive a Ford Escort with a clutch. And I slammed on the gas instead of, as I'm pulling up on the clutch, and then I bottomed out and broke her muffler. She didn't let me drive again until I was 16. So, and that's one of those things. But what's so fascinating about that is this is a very identical to how we learn. We're a little clumsy, it's a little uncomfortable, and that's okay, because when you are uncomfortable, that means you are growing and learning. Yes. So what happens in this world? How do we get closer to God? How do we get one with God? We've been taught that God is out here and up there. God is where? Here. The temple of God is within us. And so if it's the goodness in you that overcomes the doubt in you, what is the practice? The practice is to start practicing with that goodness. And so it's interesting, I'm writing a book, and it was inspired by these ladies that were in my class for the last 6 months. They just don't know that yet, because they touched my heart. And it's called The Sovereign Mindset, Activating Your Divine Self. And I have one more chapter left and I'm done. So next time I speak, I'll be bringing it with me. But here's what's cool about this, is that I watched these ladies grow, and guess who else grew? You. Me. So this is what's happening. The universe, God, energy is talking to us at all times. Every single thing you do, whether it's something you don't like or you do like, it's always talking to you. And your body is hardwired to navigate through this world. It is your GPS. It is your God placement system. It is what's sitting there telling you that, hey, you're going down this path and it's gonna hurt. And what's going to happen is you're going to grow from it. And why these ladies helped me is because they helped me heal my heart. Because I had my heart broken 2 years ago. And I am so grateful for that person that broke my heart. You want to know why? Because I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. And that's what you want to live for. You want to live for the experience, because there is another learning method that's called constructivism. And what constructivism is in learning, it is about you actually going out and experiencing and then putting the pieces together. And so what ends up happening? We go out there, we experience, and we learn. We experience, and we learn. But what's ended up happening is we've been taught in this world to not go out there and experience because we're afraid of being what? Hurt. Pain stands for pay attention inward now. It means if you're experiencing pain, stop, get still, and listen. It means look at those things that make you feel guilty. Look at those things that you have as regrets so that you can look at it so you don't do it again, because regret is the killer of dreams. So every single one of you in this room has some kind of dream. It could be just sitting in your easy chair relaxing. I have a friend that she loves to sit on the corner of her couch. She just loves that. She's 74 years old. She goes, you go and you travel. You do all the things you want to. I'm going to sit here on the corner of my couch, and when you want to come up and visit me, you can. And but that's okay. Everybody has a dream that is a part of their soul talking to them. And that soul is trying to talk to you at all times. But we're caught up, we're told that we have to be good little boys and good little girls. And then we are not allowed to follow our dreams. This whole world is right now geared towards criticizing for people for being authentic. Am I correct? We all know this in this room because when we step forward as spiritualists or metaphysicians, or you say, well, not as bad as when I started in the 90s. When you said the word psychic, people were like, what? You really believe in that? I'm like, how could you not? And what psychic means is one that can connect to your soul and to other souls. Very beautifully said by Edgar Cayce. And so what we're trying to say is that there is a higher self, there is a consciousness, there is whatever you want to call it, there is something that is within you that is speaking to you at all time. Everybody know what I'm talking about and feel that sometimes? Do we not listen to it sometimes? And you're like, man, I should have listened to that. But that's okay. Those moments you didn't listen, then you get to look back at it and you get to say, oh, I remember when I saw all those red flags and I didn't pay attention. And each time you do it, and each time you fall down, and each time you make mistakes, you will get stronger. And the only way you can do that is to get out there and experience it and live it. And sometimes you have to say things, sometimes you have to act, and sometimes you have to be what? Still, quiet. And so one of the cool things about energy, you guys could feel that energy when you're bringing it down. That's called bringing down the heavens. And so what ends up happening is you're starting to say, I'm bringing source energy down, and then you breathe in, and when you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, it actually puts your energy and your brain frequency into a gamma frequency. And so when you put it into a gamma frequency, that's when you can actually collapse and change and transmute energy and thoughts within yourself. So what I would recommend to everybody, a friend of mine, I was talking to him about something yesterday, and he says, well, how do you overcome? I was talking about working on his impatience or not being patient. And he says, well, this day forward, I'll be patient. I said, that's not how it's going to work. You're going to go out and you're going to practice your patience. And I said, it's less about who you're being impatient with and more about who you're causing damage to, and that is who? Yourself. And there's a lot of different reasons why you want to work on your patience, your stillness, and your energy of being calm. One, because when you're calm and at peace and you're still, you have a sense of clarity up here, and more importantly, right here. And when you have a sense of clarity in that areas of your body and your energy, then you get to really start to make decisions discernfully in your life. Who's ever had those things that end up happening, you just get so excited and you're like, I want to do it right now, and but there's a part of you that says, hold on, and you just jump right into it, and then you realize why you should have held on. That's because we're not grounded in the present. I put out a video yesterday and I was talking about the law of attraction because everybody's big on that in the last 20 years. And here's the thing, practicing the law of attraction is going to be one of those things that you're really going to have to work on your internal world. What's going on inside of you? Why? Because I've manifested myself into a corner and been miserable. Can anybody relate to that one? I've prayed for things and realized when I got there it wasn't what I wanted because I wasn't in tune with who? Me. And I wasn't at one with God. So one of the things that I really find very fascinating and at one with God is if God's within you, then it's within all of you. And that's what the word En Lakesh means in the Mayan culture. It means I am another you. It means when a Reiki master or an energy worker is giving you energy, it's really an exchange of energy. It's a flow of energy. And the healers in the room, don't you get a lot of healing when you do healing? Yeah, of course you do. Speakers in the room, when you stand up here on the stage, don't you get a charge of energy that flows through you? Yeah, absolutely. Everybody, Jay's over here. And so what ends up happening is we really start to understand that we're not separate. We are all at one with each other, but when it's happening, our one finger pointing out in judgment, our three fingers pointing back at us, we miss the opportunity to see the glory in all of us, the beauty in all of us. We start looking at things that other people are doing and they're not things that we would do, and we wonder why they're doing it. Why are they doing that? They're just harming themselves. Guess what? You've done things that have harmed yourself too. And as we grow and learn, yes, we speak up and we allow the flow of energy to speak through us when it needs to, and we also allow ourselves to be discernible and quiet. I want to leave you guys with a real quick prayer, and then we're going to get everybody to stand up real quick. We're going to close out exactly what we were doing before, but this time we're in the energy. You're not going to do the bringing down the heavens. I want everybody to just take a deep breath in and exhale out. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. And we're just going to move this kind of quickly. I'm going to imagine source energy coming down through your crown chakra. That's the top of your head. And that loving energy starts flowing down all the way down into the ground and into the core of the earth. Bring it all the way down, almost like an elevator going down and connecting us. And then I want you to feel the energy coming up, the grounding energy coming up, and Mother Earth is connecting you all throughout your body, and you got both energies flowing through your body, and they're like a figure 8, and the center of the 8 is in your heart. And I want you to now say in your mind and in your heart, not with your lips, I want you to say balance. And you should start feeling the energy moving and flowing. You might even start feeling your body move forward. Let it. That is called standing in the hand of God. And I want you to feel this prayer I'm going to say to you. In the highest and best good, I call my power back to me from every person, place, and entity, from every space, portal, time, dimension, from every connection, attachment, and vessel where I left it. To anyone or anything attempting to siphon my energy, I declare that you do not have my consent to use it, and so it shall be. Feel that. Deep breath in, and let it all out. Everybody feel that? That's experiencing God. When you're at that still point where no energy is pulling or pushing or trying to siphon, and you are just still in your energy. Everybody can have a seat. And that's the practice. The practice is through the heart and understanding and in balance with that heart and really understanding who you are and having that quiet time for you. Everybody thinks meditation is about and yeah, that's wonderful. But really, meditation is about being still and at one with yourself. So I've stopped calling it meditation a lot of times, and I say, I want you to hang out with yourself for 30 minutes every day, no distractions, no kids, no grandparents, no grandkids, no cell phone, no television, just 30 minutes of breathing and being quiet in your thoughts. And your thoughts, and some people say, well, I can't get quiet. I said, that's actually perfect. Because as you work on yourself and experience the craziness in your mind, everybody understand what I'm talking about, the craziness in your mind? And you start quieting it by breathing and actually spending time with yourself. Your inner world is going to thank you for giving it the love that it's been begging you for years. I'll leave you with that. Much love.